At the end of the day, you're going to have to take maybe. Okay, so 23 players to the AFCON, even though CAF increased the slot to. CAF increased to 28, yes. So this AFCON, you can actually take 28 players. So you can imagine, why not a 30-man shortlist? Why not a 35? And then you cut down to 28. 54? Hey. I don't know. I don't know if I'm the only one that's feeling this way, but then we have that in the news, and we'll just look into that briefly. And then, of course, we have a new centurion in the NPFL, speaking about Erling Haaland. 100 goals for the assassin. That's a lot. And it's not even the number of goals; it's the number of games it took him to do that. We have some tennis news this morning. Serena Williams is in the news, and we also have boxing news. When it comes to boxing, some of these doping updates, failed drug test. We have a bout, that's actually coming up. A scheduled middleweight unification bout that is coming up on Saturday, but they've had to change, one of the fighters because he failed a doping test. I have some dailies with me. If we have time to look through them, or we will definitely look through them. You're welcome to Sports Drive. Kachi is my name. So what you do for me is to just run to Facebook, because we are live. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube at Nigeria Info Abuja. When you get to the comment section, if we have a 54-man provisional list that will now be cut down to 28 in the coming week for the AFCON 2025, which 5 players would you want to, see at the end of the day? Like, you do not want to hear stories that touch the heart. You want to compulsorily see these 5 players at the end. So much drama around the 54-man shortlist. I am sure, Coach Rui was here last night and he did share with us. So just name 5 players you want to compulsorily see in the final 28-man squad for AFCON 2025, okay? You can do that on Facebook. You can do that on YouTube. You can send in a message to 0809-9930137. That's on WhatsApp at 0809-9930137, okay? Name the 5 players you want to compulsorily see in the final 28-man squad for AFCON 2025. And of course, it's Nigeria's squad. It's not any other country's squad. So we love to hear from you on that, okay? Yes. So now that we have that going, it's just to get us busy while we listen to all the others, the things that we have going on the show. Yes. Let's have it. Let's have all the other things that are going on the show this morning. Let's quickly get to tennis news. Yes, let's start from there. Serena Williams, she has filed the necessary paperwork for a return to tennis. Oh, yes, for a return to tennis. But then she said she is not coming back to the sport. So, hey, legend. Hey, queen. All hail the queen. We salute you, queen. You're not making a return to the sport. So while filed the necessary paperwork for a returnee, what's going on? The American great who won a 23 Grand Slam title singles, she retired after 2022 U.S. Open. Yes, the American great who won 23 Grand Slam singles titles retired after the 2022 U.S. Open. And the International Tennis Integrity Agency has confirmed that Williams, who's 44, meanwhile, right about now, is back on the list of players registered for the drug test pool. Her name also appears on the most recent document published by the organization on 6th October. So just hours after it emerged, she had re-entered, after it emerged that she re-entered the sports registered drug test pool. Williams posted on social media, "I am not coming back. This wildfire is crazy." So why would Williams ask to be added without any intention of playing again? That is the big question that is begging for answer. But whatever Serena Williams is up to, I am sat for it. I am here for it. I want to see to the end of it. I want to find out what's going on. But this is a developing story. This is what we saw yesterday evening. So fingers crossed. We'll wait to see how it all pans out. And then some boxing updates this morning. Let's quickly let us know that so the boxer Johnny Beck Alim Kanuli, he has tested positive for a banned substance. Yes, for a banned substance. And that is before he's scheduled a middleweight unification bout against Erislandi Lara. That bout is bound to happen on Saturday. Now, the World Boxing Organization, that's the WBO, they say it has been informed of the Kazakh fighters' failed test by the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association, that is VADA, and an internal investigation is currently underway. Let's let you know that Johnny Beck, who holds the IBF and the WBO titles, has been pulled from the bout against WBA champion Lara, and he has now been replaced by Venezuela's Johan Gonzalez. This is according to the American media. Now, it's also been reported that the banned substance is meldonium, a performance-enhancing drug which can boost an athlete's endurance. It has been banned by the World Anti-Doping Agency WADA since 2016. So Johnny Beck is on a long thing. He's a sample returned an adverse analytical finding, and the fighter has requested that a second B sample be tested. But I mean, all these ones will be done, but just before the result of whatever B sample is out, he's been replaced by the Venezuelan, that's Johan Gonzalez, because the fight on Saturday, he must go down. It is a unification bout. It's a big one. It must go down. It must happen. Okay, so that's what we have. That's what we have on boxing. And as well as, so we first took tennis this very beautiful morning. Again, wherever you can hear us from, join via Facebook and YouTube. We are live there at Nigeria Info Abuja, and do well to participate when it comes to saying one or two about the 54-man shortlist. I told you to tell us 5 players that you'd want to really have on the list at the end of the day. Like, whatever happens, whoever they are taking out, whoever they want to still bring in, 5 players that is, no matter what happens, you want to see them at the AFCON repping the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Okay, and in other news, let's quickly let us know. We're going straight to football now. In football news this morning, the biggest has to be... How many of you were up with us last night? If you were up with us last night for all the I don't even know how to react to it. If you were up with us last night for all the drama, that we experienced, that we witnessed, that we really vibed to at Craven Cottage. Hands up in the air. Check out blessings for you. If you stayed up last night with us, we had an 8:30 p.m. fixture. We was here for the usual football frenzy, 7 p.m. But then once it was 8:25, the studio was beginning to bounce. So I took over and took us to Craven Cottage, where we had a 9-goal thriller between a Fulham Football Club as well as Manchester City. Yes, Fulham versus Manchester City. Oh, was it exciting? Oh, was it an edge of the seat kind of game? Did it give our adrenaline some serious rush? It did. In fact, that game ticked all the boxes. 9 goals were scored. But then among all those goals, I think the one that a player made the news for very beautiful reason, but somehow I think the fact that he made the news was overshadowed by what Samuel Chukwueze did last night. Yes, Erling Haaland is a player that made the news. I've heard so many things. Some people are now calling him Mazi Goal. Some people have said Ezama Nogechi, one of football. I've heard so many AKAs are for Haaland, and I think he deserves Erling Haaland. He is become a Premier League Centurion, and he achieved that last night. He becomes the fastest player to score 100 Premier League goals, achieving the feat in 111 games. Hello, check it for Haaland. 111 games. That's what it took him to achieve that. Why is this such a big deal? It's a big deal because 111 games if a player even scores 50 goals in 111 games or 60, we say, wow, that's such a prolific striker, and he hits 100. Before then, there was a player who was the fastest to reach 100 goals in Premier League history, the legend himself. There's a Newcastle United legend, Alan Shearer. He achieved 100 goals in 124 matches, and everybody was like, wow, what a feat. And Haaland came to Premier League and said, Kachi, hold my beer. Can you help me hold this glass of whatever that he poured inside? And he did in 100 and 11. So he's eclipsed the achievements of Alan Shearer. You can stand up for Haaland if you want. But beyond that achievement last night, the performance of Fulham is taking the front of the dailies. Check all the front of the dailies today. I mean, in English dailies, yes, tabloids and websites talking about football, and even the ones that are not just football focused. They're just talking about Samuel Chukwueze, who came off the bench. He came off the bench in the 46 minutes of that game, replacing Sasha Lukic, and he was unplayable. He was just too on fire, and he got 2 goals. He got a 7-second minute goal. He got a 8-minute goal, and people were saying, "Why did the coach not start him? Why is he coming off the bench? Why is he coming? If this guy had played 90 minutes and for touch Manchester City," and it leaves a lot of things to our imagination, like what is going on with the defense of Manchester City. That is story for another day. Still sticking with and of course Alex Iwobi got a beautiful goal yesterday, and when the players are doing this good, people are like, why is it that when they come for Nigeria, they don't do World Cup qualification, they cannot qualify? I said, with this our World Cup qualification, we will never really forget, yes? We will never really forget. That was one of the games that went down last night. From 5-1 down, Fulham pulled up a 5-4. Someone said if they had been given 10 more minutes, maybe they would have equaled 5-5 against Manchester City. Bournemouth lost at home to Everton. They were beating 1-0, yes, and of course the game at St. James's Park, is that? Yes, Newcastle United versus Tottenham Hotspur. They started scoring in that game in the first goal was scored in the 71st minute, but at the end of 90 minutes they had 4 goals in that encounter. It ended at 2-2 between both sides. In La Liga, there was an important game that happened. Barcelona taking on Atletico Madrid, and that game ended at 3-1 in favor of FC Barcelona. Rafinha, Olmo, and Christensen, and rest the former Chelsea man, they were all on the score sheet, even though Baena pulled one back for Atletico Madrid to make it 1-1 at a time. In the second half, Barcelona took over and made it 3-1. So Barcelona currently now topping the La Liga table by 4 points. Yes, by 4 points. Real Madrid can keep wumbling and fumbling. The last 3 matches have ended in draws. It's either wake up now or Barcelona will win the league title again, which, I mean, it's so very possible. Today in the Premier League, there will be matches. Arsenal, Brentford, 8:30 p.m. And there will be Brighton, same time. Brighton taking on Aston Villa, Burnley, Crystal Palace, Wolverhampton Wanderers taking on Nottingham Forest, 9:15 p.m. Leeds, Chelsea, and Liverpool taking on Sunderland. And in La Liga today, Athletic Club Bilbao will be hosting Real Madrid. Okay? There are some outstanding games that will also be played in the MPFL today, like Rivers United versus Kano Pillars. It will be played by 4 p.m. today. Shooting Stars and Remo Stars would also be played at 4 p.m. Nigerian Pilots is one of our dailies in the studio this morning, and the Sports Watch, that's what they called it. EPL, Ola Aina ruled out until January. That's as Sean Dyke has confirmed that Nigeria defender Ola Aina will not return to action until January. That's Nottingham Forest giving us this report. Ola Aina, we'll see how that goes. Especially with the African around the corner. That does not look like good news. We also have a Daily Trust newspaper back page. Sports report, that's what they captioned it. And they have Arsenal must hunt Brentford win like animals. So that's Arteta. That's what he's saying. Like I told you, Arsenal will be playing tonight by 8:30. And it also says they must have to aim for a victory against Brentford. We also have Mbappe more than his goals, says Real Madrid coach. Mbappe is such a prolific, fine player. Away from the goals, he brings a lot to the team.